Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, but not sure why? Have you ever apologized for something that was not your fault? Have you ever trusted someone, only to realize later that they were slowly controlling you? Here is the uncomfortable truth. Manipulation does not feel like manipulation when it is happening. It feels like love. It feels like logic. It feels like your idea. And that is exactly why it works. Today, we are diving into something most people experience, but very few understand. We are talking about dark psychology techniques used by manipulators. This is not about conspiracy theories. This is about real psychological research. This is about persuasion science. This is about emotional control. And by the end of this video, you will start seeing patterns you never noticed before. Because once you understand the game, you stop being played. Welcome to Minecraft Lab. What is dark psychology really? First, let us clear something up. Dark psychology is not magic. It is not mind control. It is not hypnosis. It is the strategic use of psychological principles to influence, control, or exploit people for personal gain. The techniques themselves are based on legitimate psychological research. The difference is intent. A therapist uses psychology to heal. A manipulator uses psychology to control. And most manipulators are not movie villains. They are partners, friends, bosses, leaders, influencers. Sometimes they are people you love. The Science of Influence, Robert Cialdini. Let us start with one of the most respected researchers in persuasion psychology, Dr. Robert Cialdini. In his groundbreaking research, Cialdini identified 6 core principles of influence: reciprocity, commitment and consistency, social proof, authority, liking, scarcity. Manipulators weaponize every single one of these. 1. Reciprocity, the debt trap. Humans are wired to return favors. If someone gives you something, you feel psychological pressure to give back. This principle is deeply rooted in social survival, but manipulators exploit it. They might overgive early in a relationship, offer help you did not ask for, shower you with attention, and later, when they ask for something unreasonable, you feel guilty saying no. That is not kindness. That is calculated obligation. 2. Commitment and consistency, the foot in the door technique. Psychologist Jonathan Friedman conducted a famous experiment in 1966. Homeowners were first asked to place a small sign in their window. Later, they were asked to install a massive, ugly billboard in their yard. Those who agreed to the small request were far more likely to agree to the big one. Why? Because humans want to appear consistent. Manipulators start small. They test boundaries. They normalize small sacrifices. Then they escalate. Before you realize it, you are defending decisions you never would have made originally. Gaslighting, the reality distortion weapon. Gaslighting is one of the most dangerous manipulation techniques. It makes you doubt your own perception of reality. The term comes from the 1944 film Gaslight, where a husband manipulates his wife into thinking she is losing her sanity. Modern psychology recognizes gaslighting as a form of emotional abuse. Research on cognitive dissonance by Leon Festinger explains why this works. When your experience does not match what someone insists is true, your brain feels psychological discomfort. To reduce that discomfort, you may adjust your memory instead of confronting the manipulator. That is how someone slowly rewrites your reality. They say, "That never happened. You are too sensitive. You are imagining things. You are crazy." And over time, you begin to believe them. Authority and obedience, the Milgram experiment. In the 1960s, Stanley Milgram conducted one of the most shocking psychological experiments in history. Participants were instructed by an authority figure to deliver electric shocks to another person. Even when the person screamed in pain, 65% of participants continued delivering shocks when told to do so. Why? Because authority overrides personal morality. Manipulators use perceived authority to control. They use titles. They use confidence. They use status. And your brain automatically associates authority with credibility, even when it should not. The Stanford Prison Experiment. Power corrupts. Philip Zimbardo's Stanford Prison Experiment revealed something terrifying. Ordinary people given power roles quickly became abusive. Power changes behavior. Manipulators create power imbalances. They control information, they control money, they control social circles, they isolate you. And once they have power, your options shrink. Trauma bonding. Why victims stay. One of the most misunderstood aspects of manipulation is this. Why do people stay? The answer lies in intermittent reinforcement. Behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner showed that rewards given unpredictably create the strongest addictions. Slot machines work this way. Toxic relationships work the same way. The manipulator alternates between affection and cruelty. Your brain becomes addicted to the relief. The rare moments of kindness feel euphoric. and you stay, chasing the next emotional high. That is not weakness. That is neurochemistry. Love bombing. Love bombing is intense affection early in a relationship. It feels magical. It feels like destiny, but it is often strategic. Research on attachment styles shows that anxious attachment makes people especially vulnerable to this tactic. The manipulator creates emotional dependency before revealing their true behavior. By the time the mask drops, you are already attached. Fear and scarcity. Daniel Kahneman's research on loss aversion shows that humans fear loss more than they value gain. Manipulators create artificial scarcity. This is your last chance. No one else will love you like I do. If you leave, you will regret it. Fear narrows thinking. Scarcity triggers panic, and panic kills rational judgment. How to protect yourself. Now here is the empowering part. Manipulation only works in the dark. Once you see it clearly, it loses power. Here are your defenses. Slow down decisions. Document reality when you feel confused. Notice patterns, not promises. Build independent support systems. Trust behavior over words. Awareness creates boundaries. Boundaries create freedom. Here is the truth nobody tells you. Manipulators do not look evil. They look charming. They look confident. They look like opportunity. But psychology gives you X-ray vision. When you understand influence, you stop mistaking control for love. You stop mistaking pressure for loyalty. You stop mistaking confusion for weakness, and you start choosing clarity. If this video opened your eyes even a little, then you are already harder to manipulate than you were 20 minutes ago. This is Minecraft Lab, where we decode the mind so nobody else can control yours. Stay aware, stay sharp, and I will see you in the next one.